morning, everybody. And I'm on southbound I-15 right now in the Fontana, California area. Got a load that is, I'm under a load that is going to Santa Fe Springs, which is in the LA County area. It's off 5-5. This is not the load that you last saw me pick up. The last load you saw me pick up was the Tyler, I mean, not Tyler, but, yeah, well, Sanderson Farms load, chicken load out of Tyler. I ended up running just over 700 miles on the shift after I picked it up. From Tyler to Moriarty, New Mexico. And then then yesterday, ran from Moriarty to the Navajo Travel Plaza off exit 325 in Arizona on I-40. And ended up swapping with another driver. Come on, people. There are a couple of truckers up here. I've been dealing with them ever since pretty much Barstow. There's two guys up here with the diamond plated doors on their trailers. I think they're pretty sure they're traveling together. The front one has been very annoying. He's a yo-yo, can't make up his mind what speed to run. Hey, speaking of though, I'm coming up on the 210 interchange here. And at this point, it's basically a decision point. There are several options you can use to get to the receiver from here. One way is to stay on 15 all the way down to as you might see on the map, I'm going to show you. One way is to stay on 15 until you get to Highway 60, and then go west on 60 to southbound 57. And then west on 91, and then north on 5. I want to say it's the Alondra exit that you get off at, but I could be wrong. I'll have to double check that. I'll have it on the screen though, so you have an idea there. The other way is to go like what I'm doing here. I'm going to get on the 210 west and take it all the way to 605. Then south on 605, and then south on I-5, and I'll get off at Rosecrans. Head east on Rosecrans, and then there'll be a little bit of, a little nuance there with getting into the receiver. I'm gonna explain to you why I'm gonna do a certain way that I'm going to do it when I get down there. Mainly has to do with scouting out trucking, scouting out possible parking spots, and do it so in a way where I can easily get myself turned around instead of having a more difficult time getting back around the corner or something. So we'll get to that point when we get over there. I mean, we'll discuss that more when we get down there. Just know that those are the two routes, you know, the 15 to 60, the 57 to 91, to 5 north. That's the first route. Under ideal conditions, that might be, I mean, it's possibly the best route. Although it's kind of a wash. I think this route that I'm taking also is just as good. In fact, if there's even a remote hint of traffic, I tend to prefer 210 to 605 personally. Nice tail lights. Maybe you should try turning your actual lights on instead of relying on that stupid automatic lights. Or they might actually have a problem too, I don't know. But yeah, a lot of cars end up having the automatic lights, and they see their headlights on, but don't realize that none of the other lights are on with them. Alright, so that's what we got going on. I don't know why they wanted me to swap with the other driver. I assume that he had an HOS concern maybe he didn't. Maybe he was running on recaps like I am, and might not have had enough recaps coming back at midnight a few hours ago to get himself from from the Navajo or Holbrook area back down to here on time. So they asked me if I could swap with them. Now they're good, effective clock management. I think helped me out a lot here, because the load I was under, the one that I picked up in Tyler, I was supposed to deliver in Shafter, over by Bakersfield tomorrow evening at 1700. I realized after doing the 700-mile shift that if I run very efficiently, actually, I think I was still on the 700-mile shift. If I ran efficiently, because I also had a recap situation where it didn't look very good for reloads. I got 640 something back last night in recaps, and I got another 6 something coming back tonight, and then 4 something tomorrow night. So, and particularly the 4 something recap's not going to help me out, especially when I'm already running out of time. As it was when I shut down yesterday in Essex, California. I shut down, and after I got through doing my post strip, I had 10 minutes left on my 70-hour clock. But now I realized, though, going back with the strategy, because I got moving right away, and then when I did my 30-minute break on that 700-mile shift, I limited the 30-minute break to about 30 minutes. And then got moving promptly and did not make any extra stops anywhere. Just went straight from Tyler to Amarillo. Yeah, got a shower in just on time to get finish my 30 and then get rolling again. And then I ran straight from Amarillo to Moriarty. Normally I like to have at least one other, or maybe even 2 other intermediate stops in there. Just for sanity's sake, I guess. But I realized that I could get, whether I was running on recaps or not, my ETA to my house was going to be like 2 or so in the morning. This morning, I decided, I'm going to go ahead and run hard and plan on getting home, do a 34-hour reset, and then have just enough time after the 34 to get rolling toward the delivery. Oops! Oh, that car smashed up in the back. All right. What was that? Carnelian? No, Carnelian's one coming up. So. I didn't even pay attention to what exit that was. Alright, so anyway, yeah, I planned on, I'm going to do a 34-hour reset. That way I have a fresh clock to work with when it's time to reload. And either way, I'm not going to reload until around at least tomorrow evening anyway. So, I got asked about swapping loads with the other driver. At first, the swap guy said he wasn't aware that there was a second drop on it in La Mirada. But then he ended up, he told me go ahead, if you go ahead and do it, go ahead and make the delivery in Santa Fe Springs and then drop the trailer in the drop yard afterward, and then you can get your 34 in. So made that arrangement there. So I'll still be able to go back on duty sometime tomorrow night. And running efficiently, running my clock efficiently had a lot to do with making that possible. Because otherwise I would have been in a position where I'd be going into recap, it wouldn't really benefit me to do a 34. It would it'd probably be just as useful to do to just run the recaps. We're in the upland area right now. We'll give you some more footage here in a minute when we get to the 605 freeway. Alright guys, we're coming up on the 605 freeway, about 1.25 miles away. Heading south on there. It's of course the only way you can go on 605 from 210. Let's get into Irwindale now. Alright, so I was talking earlier about how with clock management, and there's plenty of examples of clock management strategy just with this the load I picked up and the one I'm under now. So starting from Moriarty, I'm sure we move over real quick because 605. When I get on the 605 from the westbound 210. I'm going to merge in with the other side from the left. So this is one of those rare cases where I like to be on the right side because I know I need to move right anyway after I merge in with the traffic coming off the eastbound side. Alright, anyway, my plan was I wanted to get as far on my shift, on the 700-mile shift, the one that went from Tyler to Moriarty, as I could. That way I could, my next 2 shifts, I knew I was going to need 2 more shifts to get home. It just, then it became a more concern about, can I do the next 2 shifts without doing a 30-minute break? And so I wanted to get close enough where I could ideally do that, and I could run. By then I was 750 miles out from between Moriarty and my house, so that's about 375 miles of chunks. Very doable. But if I get tired or whatever, which I wanted to prepare for that. If I get tired and want to stop, not a big deal. I can just get some of the miles in, and then if instead of doing a 30-minute break, I can do a full 10-hour break or something, and still run it home from there. Or if anything, go as far as I can before stopping, and then take a 2-hour nap. Plan on taking at least 2 hours because that way if I want to do an 8-hour sleeper berth instead of a full 10-hour break after the end of the shift, then I get drive time back after my 8-hour sleeper berth. And if I took anything less than a 2-hour break during the middle of a shift and then I go do an 8-hour sleeper berth, I'll get 14-hour clock back, but I won't get any 11 clock back, or 11-hour clock back. But if I do at least a 2-hour break on the middle of the shift before I do the 8-hour sleeper berth, then whatever drive time I used before the 2-hour break, I'll get back. So as it was, when I shut down in Essex, where it was my 70-hour clock that was stopping me, I ended up, what was it? I had over an hour left of drive time still. I did a good 630 miles. I still had to get hour or so. I think it was just over an hour, maybe an hour and 10 or whatever it was on my drive clock, my 11-hour clock when I shut down. And from Moriarty to the Navajo Travel Center, I drove, I think it was 3.5 or a little bit more than 3.5 hours non-stop. Closer to 4. And so what happened was when I ended up swapping with the other driver, who was about an hour and a half behind me. At the time I got asked about doing a swap, I was just passing through Lupton, right at the Arizona-New Mexico border. And at the time, the other driver was kind of over in the Laguna area, I guess, somewhere in that ballpark. In between Grants and Albuquerque. And so, yeah, about an hour and a half behind me. So, yeah, I ended up calling, once we got the swap all set up, I called the other driver up, let him know, hey, I'm here, I'm in such and such type of truck. What's your ETA, all that kind of stuff. And he told me, yeah, it'd be there about an hour and a half or whatever it was. So, okay, well, it's fine. I told him I was going to probably do an 8-2 split anyway. So, I wanted to be there for at least 2 hours regardless. And, yeah, it ended up working out because, I got me a nap in. I ended up right around 2 hours. Cannot move over. Can't move over, car. You better fucking wait and better drop in behind me. Not this Honda, but the guy that was right next to my trailer. Didn't look like they were gonna want to yield to me, but like, dude, you're merging in with me. You have to yield. And I had that tanker passing me, and then had this other guy who's now right beside me, but. Yeah, and it opened up, but he was right behind where my trailer was going to be, and I wasn't going to move over and cut him off for that. So you guys got to not be so stubborn and get off your damn gas pedal. Don't assume that I can move over, because I can't. No, I can't always move over. Coming up on the 10 freeway now, and I'm going to move back over to the number 3 lane because I don't want to get on 10. Alright, so 2-hour break. I was also thinking, I knew I couldn't make it home, but I wanted to be set up where if it came down to anything, I could also 8-hour sleeper berth. And then get from there to the receiver, just in case. And I think it's going to benefit me greatly to have done that because I think it's going to be around 4 a.m. when I get to the receiver. Maybe a little sooner, but won't be too far off. And if I did a full 10-hour break instead of an 8-hour sleeper berth, then I'd be getting here closer to 6 a.m. and not to mention have a much greater likelihood of having slowed traffic bog me down even more, which would greatly increase the likelihood that I'd show up late to the receiver had I done a full 10-hour break. So planning ahead, knowing what I'm likely to run into up through here, I decided I'm just going to do an 8-2 split. Get down here early when there's less traffic, and when I get there, I can always just park along the street. I have to park on the street before I checked in anyway, and I have to walk my paperwork into the up to the guard shack from the street. So I'll just park there, maybe get an hour, an hour and a half or so nap, and then go walk my bills up and go through that whole delivery process and be done. Alright, we're coming up on Interstate 5 now. I think I might need to move one lane over to the right. I don't know. Then we're going to get in on southbound 5 here. We're not very far at all from the receiver at this point. We're maybe about 5 miles or so. Here, I don't need that. Alright, a 30-mile-an-hour curve coming up here. Hard to operate the accelerator and brake pedals right now because my right foot is having issues. Rosecrans Avenue exit, which is the one that I want, is 2 3/4 miles from here. Okay, once I'm off the interstate, there are a couple of different routes I can take to the customer. Again, when we get on, once I get over there in the area, I'll explain a little bit better why I'm going to take the particular way into there that I'm going to take. Both work just fine. I just have one particular way I'm going to take, though, for a certain reason. And I just, now when I was on the 605, I went right past Newegg.com's warehouse. I just ordered a new computer tower, just a tower alone, from them. I'm kind of wondering if, it's not really expected to be in until like the end of June or early July. But there are times where the stuff is available right away, and you can actually, I think they even have the option where you can go to, like, do their will call, go to their actual warehouse and will call and pick it up. And I've delivered to a customer that's right behind them, so I know that I can park my truck on the street there right outside their warehouse, and it'd be kind of cool if I could go over there and pick it up, but I don't think it'll be ready. I can always try calling them. Now my boys, they're at my house now from their, my wife picked them up in Oklahoma and brought them back home, and gonna spend a few weeks with us since it's summer break. And they love to play American Truck Simulator on my computer. Not to mention we use the computer for other purposes too, and right now that I have difficulty getting it to turn on, and I think it has something to do with the switch on the tower that I currently have. Rosecrans Avenue right here. I'll be exiting right here, and we're going to head east on Rosecrans, which would be a left turn basically. Exit 120 at 120. For those of you guys who really care about that information. Looks like we got 2 turn lanes here. Got a green light, but will it stay that way? Alright, off the interstate at 3:36 a.m. Definitely help me make sure I get here on time, because one good traffic delay, and those happen every day in Southern Cal, it would have been all it took to stop me. Okay, so one of the routes into the customer, there's going to be a set of railroad tracks up here, and there'll be a street on the right side you can turn onto right about where Rosecrans meets up with those railroad tracks. That's one way to go. The other way is to just stay on Rosecrans over to the Valley View Boulevard exit. This is Shoemaker Road here. And then make a right on Valley View, and then another right onto the street that the customer is on. I'm going to elect to take the Valley View route. And the reason why is because I can scout ahead. If I don't find parking on the westbound side of, I forget what that side street is. Yeah, I can keep scanning, and if I see anything on the eastbound side, I can always loop back around through the smaller streets right there. Yeah, they're all truck legal. Just loop back around and come back in and hit it from the other direction. But if I come down the road that's by the railroad tracks first, yeah, I'd say if I don't find anything on the eastbound side, but I do on the westbound side, then I'll have more difficulty getting myself turned back around and facing the correct direction. So I like it's more simple, not these tracks here, but you see I got the railroad tracks up here. I see the gates there. This light right here, the one that just turned yellow, is the smaller street that you can turn on. What's that? Mark Horton, that's right. Mark Horton Avenue. Okay, as you see here, I got the railroad tracks actually go right through the middle of the intersection. Where this car just came from, you can turn right on, and then to make a left right after on the first street, and that'll get you down there. Well, one or two other streets you can use off of that, and you see on the map how that is arranged. I could have turned on that street as well, I think. I don't know if it crosses that grade with Valley View though, so I'll just stay here anyway and make the right on Valley View like I originally planned on. See, I could even turn on this street here that I just passed. Get back over that diagonal street. Overpass over there. That's either the railroad tracks or, yeah, I think it is the railroad tracks. Of course, you always got to watch for railroad crossings that are like that on bridges, because that's usually where you're going to find low bridge clearances. But this is a truck route. You even see the sign right there saying truck route straight ahead. And yeah, I could have taken Stage Road, which was the diagonal street that I was talking about. Alright, make a right turn up here at this light, and the customer will be on the right side. We're gonna park along the street. Anywhere where we can find a spot, doesn't matter. That's not very far away. It's basically, actually the lot is right here at the corner. I'm right next to it. Oh, hang on. Right now, I thought that van was going to get the green light. I was going to get to make their turn before the light. Alright, looks like we might have an opening here on the other side of the street. Or actually, you know what? Right here. Perfect. Right here in front of their building, too. Man, couldn't ask for better. My tandems are not up against the curb, so I'm gonna just square up and get them a little bit closer to the curb. I'm gonna watch this guy's back in though. Oh, shit, a little late catching it. Alright, so we're good to go here. It's just about 3:45. And like I said, if damn it, come on. If I'd done a full 10-hour break, let me fix this. It looks kind of weird angle there. Then there was a chance I was going to be here a little bit late. Now I cannot check in until 6 a.m. because they don't open until then. So, and what happens is we'll go up to the guard shack, which is right there, and got a unified truck leaving the lot right now. So this is Supervalu and Unified Foods DC right here. Anyway, yeah, he had no problem getting out. But I know it's hard to see. Well, I guess it's his more concern is being able to see to the left than to the right. And when he first sticks his nose out, anyway. All right. So anyway, the process here: check in at the guard shack, bring your paperwork, and then eventually they'll have you get in line. And well, of course, last time I've been here was before COVID-19, so I don't know if they've changed their process because of COVID-19. But before, they had it set up where everybody would go inside the building. There'd be like this long hallway you'd walk in, and everyone would, one or two at a time, go inside the actual warehouse part and check in there, and then check in with the lumper and all that. So because of that, I usually, even in this kind of summer weather, well, it's 65 here, but even in hot weather, I recommend going in there with like a hoodie or something on, sweater, jacket, whatever, because it gets chilly in there. And yeah, especially if you're in there waiting, if you're waiting for other people to help you, or you're behind others and you're in the warehouse part, it get a little bit, quite a bit chilly in there. So I recommend that. And then you just come back and they'll call you up and let you know what door you have, unless they have a door for you right away. Don't bring your truck into the lot until you have a door assignment, because if you do try to bring your truck in, they'll just turn you right back around until you go park on the street. Alright? Alright, so I'll have some more footage for you guys here shortly. Once I'm once I'm checked in and ready to dock in, we'll continue this. Alright? So keep watching. Alright guys, I'm checked in finally, got a dock door assignment. I'm gonna use PC forced to move by shipper or receiver. Okay, and my clutch pedal is a little on the loose side again. Okay, the driveway is right behind me and on my right. Yeah, but what I'm gonna do here, because of where I'm parked, come around to the end of the street. It'll dead end you into an east-west road, turn right, and then come right back up the other street that's right next to, right before it. Alternatively, you can also turn down this street right here. It's the same one I'm going to come back up. Just easiest to just go around, make all right turns, except for the left to come back onto this street, and then a left turn to get back into the receiver's yard. Superior Pool Products. U.S. Motorworks. American, what? E.B. Bradley Company, Specialty Hardware and Surfacing. Yeah. Clutch was a little loose. Not extremely bad, but it's enough where I'm just kind of concerned about it when I go to dock in. Now we'll turn right onto this street here. OCI Sitwell. SPG Liquid Engineering. Alright, this other JCT driver, I actually know him. His name is Chris. He and his wife are a team. First time I met him in person. I've known him for a while on Facebook. And he's been with JCT, I think, pretty close to the same amount of time that I have, which is about 3 years. I've been with JCT 3+ years now. He's somewhere, I don't think he's too far behind, if at all. I see he's got 2 diamonds on this truck. Alright, Smith's gonna park in the spot that I was in, alright. Heritage Foods. So soon as this guy pulls away, I'll be able to get in and guard. I think we'll check my seal or whatever. Okay, my dog door will be pretty much right in front of the lumper trailer. Door 63. It's okay. Got the extension. We used to go into the extension, but now we don't. They have a trailer over here up against the fence. Actually, two trailers. One is for the one is for checking in at the receiver. The other one is for the lumping service. Because you just can't wait, right? Get my trailer out of the street.
Or
63?
huh?
63?
Your name?
Scott?
Okay.
Actually, this guy's waiting. I'm gonna get my doors open. Oh, that day camper behind me was probably like, hurry up, get out of the way, but not much I could do. And you see, they got a taco truck here, so let's see if they accept debit card or for cash only. I might just grab me a bite to eat here. 63 is going to be right over here, just a few doors over. Trying to dive it in a little bit more. We're getting a little bit better trailer angle to work with before we start backing in. Late chasing it. First things first though, tandems need to get squared up with the spot first and then worry about the truck. The wheel chock over on the other side is going to be in the way, I think. Let me move a little bit left, see if I can miss it before I have to get out and move it. Yeah, I might be able to miss it by... Yeah, we should be good there. Fucking touchy clutch. can't get just the right feel on there, because when it's doing what it's doing right now, it's like all or nothing. Sometimes I hit the OK button and it doesn't actually do anything. Alright, so it took almost an hour just to even get checked in. As you see I think you can see from the front view the line of people there. Yeah, you should be able to see the line of people still trying to check in. So that's kind of time consuming, and then now we'll have this going on. Yeah, it'll probably take at least a couple more hours, even though it's only, I think it was like 13 pallets or something along that line. 11, 13, whatever it was. It's Capstone Logistics, I believe, and then the lumper fee, she said she'll call me and give me the fee later. So I don't know what the amount is. I'll have that information for you on the next segment, alright? Keep watching, and we'll have some more footage here when we're done, and get back to the, once we get back onto probably I-5, we'll end the video there, okay? As I mentioned earlier, I will be dropping this load in our San Bernardino drop yard. Kind of limited on SD card space to work with, because I'm still trying to catch up on previous pickups and deliveries. And honestly, I've done enough San Bernardino drop yard videos recently anyway. I think you guys can do without that one for now. So I won't be doing any footage of dropping the load in San Bernardino this time. But once I'm caught back up or something, or maybe I end up getting more SD cards, or who knows, it'll be another story. Alright, so that's all. Alright, so again, keep watching, and we'll have some the final footage for you after this. Alright guys, we're all done here. Believe I'm gonna have my bills and receipt in the back of the trailer. Let me back in real quick, double check that I'm not up against the wheel chock. I'll pull the chock out and pull away from the door and check. Okay, confirm the dock plate is down. Pull forward. Double check if the bills are on the door, right side of me. Looks like this guy is getting ready to dock in either to my door or the next one over. So I'm going to get out of the way. Oh, come on. I gotta go down and find a go by. I don't know if my camera picked it up, but this guy docking in at door 61, I think you might have gotten a pretty good chunk of it at least. I always like to show backings, whether they're my own or somebody else's, no matter how good or bad they are. That guy, yeah, it was kind of, I don't know, maybe a little bit of a difficult setup, because, or it might not have been so necessarily a bad setup. I can probably do it while I'm waiting on him. Stop off 20622 1015. Okay, now I closed my doors only temporarily because I have products still in there. I see another JCT over there. That's not Chris. Silver KW, I don't know who that is. Chris, the guy I was talking to earlier, who also drives for JCT, is he drives a white truck, so that's somebody else. Oh no, that is Chris. Never mind, I kept thinking he drove a white one. Alright, so the gate pass back. Okay, now we'll get out of here. You know what, I can take this off too. I ended up having a breakfast burrito from one of the taco trucks that was here. It wasn't bad at all. Alright. I hate when a clutch wants to act up. Okay, I can go either direction. I'm gonna go back over to I-5. Okay, I'm gonna take Rosecrans back across to the west. Basically the same way I came in, but getting to Rosecrans via different, the street that I was talking about earlier, where, you know, the intersects Rosecrans, right where the train tracks go right through the middle of the intersection. That's where I'll be getting out of Rosecrans from. So all in all, it was over 4 hours here. Checked in at, I tried to check in, you know, shortly before 6. Didn't actually get done checking in until closer to 7. And then, I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily say the unloading time took extremely long. It wasn't fast, but it wasn't long either. It was the time afterward, after they've already taken all the pallets out of the truck, out of the trailer, where I think a lot of the delay was. And you gotta understand, sometimes that's because they have to restack and reorganize pallets and stuff. Sometimes they even have to replace bad pallets. There's a process to that. They also have to inventory and quality control all the stuff. So some patience is necessary, even though ideally, if it could all be like Costco, I think a lot of drivers would be very happy, because you talk to any driver and they'll say that Costco is the gold standard as far as how to what. Yeah, look good, we're clear. So Rosecrans coming right up here. Now we're heading back to the drop yard. Like I said, I won't be showing the drop yard footage. I did make room on the SD card that I had in the computer already. I just forgot to take it out and bring it up here. I would otherwise have footage of a card available for it. I always want to have one SD card that I can use on, just constantly recording, just in case for, insurance or whatever reasons. What most people actually use dash cams for. Obviously, I use mine for more than that. I see a good proper button hook turn. I don't know if you guys watched where how my tandem's tracked pretty nicely around that island there. Let's see if I can get around this guy and give this guy the tree trimmer guy some more space for safety reasons. Alright, I-5 southbound, turn left here on Carmenita. Of course, I'm going to head north on 5 to 605. Actually, I should pull up the map so I can see what the traffic conditions look like everywhere. Yeah, it really looks like I can't go wrong with any route. All the problems are on the southbound or westbound direction, from what I can tell. Everything going eastbound, which is the way I want to go, looks like it'd be alright. So I'll probably take 5 to 605 to 10. And then 215 north just to Inland Center Drive. Inland Center up to the 5-way, and then across Mill Street. Until it dead ends into the Stater Brothers DC, and then left on Tippecanoe, and then of course most of you guys know the routine from there. Right on 3rd, and then right on Del Rosa, and then right into the drop yard. Okay, I think I'm going to need this. This car is kind of going fast through here. I need to be over here for the northbound on-ramp. I think this car is going to do the same. Looks like he wants over, so I'm trying to leave a little bit of space here so he can come over if he's going to, but I can't tell what he's got going on there. He's too busy talking on his phone and doesn't realize, I don't think even... I can see his phone in his hand, he's talking to it. Are you going to pull forward, or are you just going to camp out there and watch this guy on the phone? Or are you busy on your own phone? That's what it is. You're too busy on your own phone, aren't you? So when you're too busy screwing around on your phone, I'm not going to be nice to you. I don't know if the guy wants over into this lane, but I'm not going to give him an easy one.
You have 2 hours and 21 minutes of remaining drive time.
He'll still be able to get over like he just did, but sure as I'm not going to make it easier. You're a fucking moron. He had all that opportunity to come over earlier and didn't. But since his phone call was more important, You'd rather take stupid risks like that. Northbound 5 right here. This does not feel that great when I'm trying to shift gears, or when I have, particularly when I'm downshifting. Letting off on the foot, on the throttle, or getting back on it, it can be pretty, be a little bit on the painful side, and a lot of times I'm having a hard time putting the right amount of pressure on the pedal. Come on. Right amount of pressure on the pedal, because I'm anticipating the pain that's going to come with it. Enough to wait. Give him a thank you flash. So now my clutch is acting normal. In reality, probably the quicker route would have been southbound 5 to eastbound 91. But either way, I have to go away from the direction I want to go in order to get going in the correct direction, so probably a trade-off. Alright, 605 is only 2.25 miles away. I can't guarantee I'd be able to get around these slower trucks and back into the lane without cutting somebody off before it's time to get off. So I'm just going to stay here, be patient. Anyway, that's about all for this one. Thank you all for taking the time to watch and listen or whatever again. And hopefully you guys as always, hope you got some useful information out of this video. And I know my kids probably get some entertainment out of it too. So, all right, you guys all have a great day, and I'm gonna do a 34-hour reset, and have some more footage for you once I'm done with the reset. I don't know what's going on next. Probably be Colton if I have to guess, but we'll see. All right, so you guys all have a great day, and we'll see you guys soon.